Hi all. In this video, I actually just want to talk about how to find good science topics if you are a kid. I am Professor Dave Maslach, and what I want to do is just give you a really important hint when you are looking for science topics at this moment. I know it's a really scary thing, and you might get overwhelmed, and this is really normal for scientists, even scientists that are really old and crusty like me. We often get stuck in what we're trying to do. And one thing that we tend to do is we want to go to the books. We want to go to somebody that's going to tell us what is a good science topic. And so that's why you're probably watching this video at this moment, because you're like, I don't know what to do. So you might be in 6th grade, maybe you're in 2nd grade, maybe you are in high school at this moment, and you're kind of trying to figure out what to do. But the best thing that you can do is to go around and look around your world. Look to see at what you're doing. So, one thing that you can do is walk around your house and look to see what's going on. You can go outside and look around what's going on. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples when you do this, and just be curious. Just have that sort of mindset where you're like, I wonder how that works, right? So you might look at something that seems really ordinary, right? Like it rained outside right now and it's kind of dreary outside where I am. And you might go and you might see some puddles on the ground. You're like, well, that's weird. I wonder why puddles have that certain shape. And it turns out that there actually is. You can spend a lot of time trying to figure out why puddles have a certain shape based on the tomography. So it's called the tomography, so how bumpy and hilly the ground is. And you could do a lot of studying and thinking about that and why that actually has a certain shape. And what's interesting is that there is a lot of different variables and why you might actually have variables, so different things that are affecting the shape of that puddle. So that could be a really interesting science topic that I think most people would overlook. Or you might go and you might say, hey, these flowers, they're so colorful, they're so beautiful. Man, that's really interesting. Why are flowers colorful and beautiful and other parts of the plant aren't? I know that seems curious to me. And so you might want to try to figure out why that is and go look to see why that is. Or, you might be sometimes we have these sort of arguments with somebody, like maybe it's your parents or your teacher, and you might think it's something, right? Like you might actually think it's this thing. Well, then that is actually a really important science topic that you can study and take a deep dive and figure out, hey, why am I thinking like this and they're thinking like this? What's going on there? So often when there's these kind of debates or somebody just doesn't really have any, you're kind of confused, right? That's what that means when you're emotional, when you have this sort of negative emotions. It usually means that you're confused or there's some sort of uncertainty or something like that where you're just like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. So at that moment, that's actually a really good science topic to take a step back and figure that out, right? That's interesting. Or maybe you might walk around your house and your house is, you might feel grumpy some moments and happy other moments. Well, that's really interesting. Why do we feel grumpy and happy sometimes? And try to figure that out. That's a really good science project to take a deep dive into that. So all of these things are really interesting, and you just have to simply start looking around and just walking around. Don't open up those books just yet. I don't think that's actually useful. I often my kiddos, and including me, will they'll get stuck and they'll be staring at a screen because nobody reads books anymore. But you stare at a screen and they'll be stuck. So I'll just like take away the screen, close it, and let's say, hey, let's think about this. And that's the best exercise that you can do to find good science topics. So good luck with it. I know you got this. Just walk around, be curious, just start looking, and you will be amazed on how many amazing, cool, wonderful, exciting things there are in this world to study. So with that, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care. Bye.